Hi everyone. So I've been working on a miniature pond with my miniature club. Well, this is still work in progress, but in order for us to have something to put inside the pond, I was given the task to just teach the group how to do like a water lilies and some koi fish. So this video is gonna be about the water lily and also the leaf, and I'm gonna make another video later to make the koi fish. Okay, so here we have some Fimo, like a polymer clay. It's actually kind of like my first time working with polymer clay, so I've been using air dry clay before. So it's kind of different. These are the ones that I have. I'm not sure if they have any other color, but because this is kind of too dark for the flower that I want, I just take a bit of the clay and mix it with a bit of white, so you can see that the clay is kind of dry and crumbly. And then I've read somewhere that you can add a tiny bit of baby oil, or here I have some cooking oil, so I just dip the oil into my fingertips and then start kind of mixing it into the clay, so that at the same time I'm mixing the color. So I think this piece is a bit too small for, so I'm just adding more pink to it. So just keep mixing so that you're blending the color. Yeah, so now you can still see some white, and I think that's good. So once you have your color, what I do is just take a tiny piece and roll it up into a ball. So this should be about like a 0.3 to 0.4 centimeters, and then I roll it like this, so it's like kind of elongated, and it has a pointy tip on both sides like this. So you can see I already have some down here, so that's how I've been making them. So this would be like a medium size flower petal. So the outer edge would be, I guess, for the ball you can do like 0.4 to 0.5 centimeters, and the inner one you can do 0.3 to 0.4 centimeters. So that it's up to you what the size you want, but for this pond I think this is a good size, so that's why I made a bunch of like I don't know what you call this shape, but a sausage with pointy tips. So once you have that, we're gonna roll it out so that it's flattened out to make the flower petals. So in order for it to work nicely, so that your fingerprints don't get onto the flower petals, you would use like a plastic wrap, put it on your hand, and then put the clay on top. Now I'm using a toothpick to roll it out. So I've been trying to use just the very basic tools that most people should have at home, because not everyone has the like clay tools, and it's just easier for our group. So what you do is just kind of roll it out like you're making bread or baking with a rolling pin and the flour. So I did it the vertical way, and now I can do it like the horizontal way to make it thinner. just press on it and roll it. So once you have the shape and thickness you want, you can take it off and just keep making that. So just repeat for all the different sizes. So for this flower I have like 3 layers and like this, and each layer would have about 6 to 7 flower petals. So just do the math and create the all the petals that you need. And now I'm gonna show you how I do all the different layers. First, just let me see. These are the big ones. I'm gonna choose try to choose like medium size one because this is the large one, the bottom one. Okay, so that should be good. So this is optional, but it might help for some people. Just use a tiny bit of clay and flatten it out for the middle part. And basically what I do is just use a toothpick to pick up the petals and put it on top in the middle like this, because they are kind of sticky. So so when I'm picking it up, I'm doing it on the tip in the center so that the mark doesn't show. So right there. So it's up to you how many petals you like. About 6 to 8. Right now this one I'm doing 8. So now so position them better. This one fix. And I'm just gonna use the back of the toothpick, just press down to the middle to flatten it out a bit. And then gently kind of pick it up. Or maybe it's better if you do this on a piece of plastic too, so that it's easier to pick up. Yeah. So now you just kind of help push the petal up so it's not flat like this. This one is kind of stuck. Yeah, so just be careful when you position them. So this one is a bit stuck to the bottom one, which is okay. And this second layer should have slightly smaller petals than the first one. And just put it on top of the bottom one and then push it down gently with the back of your toothpick so that it's sticking to the bottom layer. So now I'm gonna do the third one, the smallest one. So I'll choose my petals. I might have to make another one, flatten another one. So I'll just roll it. And then take it off. So I should have enough for the middle part. And just pick the petals you want, put it in the middle. So the tip, they're laying on, like they're overlapping on top of each other. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to see because the camera is in the way, but yeah, can do this. I think that's enough. So okay, so now that you have them on top of each other, just press it down gently with the back of the toothpick so that they're sticking to each other. And you can use your fingers to kind of roll up the petals so that it's more like forming like a ball shape like this. It's really pretty. And still you need to use your toothpick to put it inside and put it in here inside the other layers, and then push it down gently using the toothpick so that it's all the layers are stacking, like they're touching, and there's some pressure to make sure the clay are attached. And now you can kind of fix the shape of the petals the way you like, just opening up a bit on the outside, maybe something like this. Yeah, so yeah, the shape of the petals, if you spend more time like on rolling it out, you can make better consistent shape. So some of mine is slightly off, but that's okay. So just make sure, I think, because when you, like I said, when you roll it into a sausage, make sure the tips are pointy, and then just rolling it out like in different directions. So once you do it a few more times, there's some consistency to the way you do it, so the flowers, the petals would look more even. Yeah. And I like the polymer clay because it's kind of sturdy, like when you, even if it's so thin and you're pulling it off, it doesn't break so easily. So the flower is basically done, and for the middle part, we're just gonna add like a bit of the yellow clay in the middle. I forgot what the proper term is for the pollens, or the, yeah, like for the what the bees and the butterfly eats. I think not, I don't know the proper name of the plant, like the part of the plant, but this is where the pollens are located, right in the middle. So what I've been doing is just I think you can see, like rolling the yellow clay into really tiny sausages and kind of putting them in, pressing them in. Or I've seen people just roll oops, hold on, I have to turn the camera. So this is a bit complicated because it's so tiny, but what I've been doing is just using the toothpick to pick up the tiny pieces and then hold it at the end and push it in, like using the tip of the toothpick to push it into the middle so that it's sticking. So this is like a tedious step that needs a bit more focus. So, I think the camera was not focused, so I'll do it again. I'll zoom in. Okay, well, let's try this again. So I have, I rolled out like a really small piece of yellow clay and picking it up. Look, it's just dropped. So I'm trying to find it and gently, like holding the flower gently so it doesn't change the shape, but you still have to push the bottom of the yellow plate so that it's stuck to the center. Yeah, so you don't have to do a lot because it's kind of hard. Of course, if you have the patience, you can, but I think this is pretty good already. Oops. Yeah, so now I'm just gonna fix the petals, like, because before you bake it, you can still change the shape, so just make sure you are gentle with it. So I think the petals is a bit too closed up. I'm just gonna open some of them up. So I think this is pretty good. Yeah. And when you bake it, I would put it on like tinfoil sheet, and I think the package set to bake it for, I don't remember if it's 25 to 30 minutes, or yeah, you should check the package that you have just to make sure. But for the smaller size, because this is so thin and small, usually I do it a bit less time, and yeah, you still have to make sure it's as long as it turns rubbery, it turns hard, that you cannot really change the shape, and I think you're fine. Okay, so I'm just gonna move this out of the way without changing the petals too much. So that's the flower, and now we can do the leaf. Just gonna move this. So here, because the leaf is green and I just need something like a different color so that you can see it better. So this is the leaf. Basically you just mix, well, there are two types of green that we have, like a lighter one and a darker one. You just mix it like we did with the pink to create the color that you like, and roll it into a ball like this. So this one I want to add some oil to it because it's still a bit hard, stiff and just mix it up and then roll it into a ball. So like this, because I'm gonna show you the size. So this ball is about, well, it's almost 1 centimeter, a bit less than 1 centimeter in diameter, and just you can flatten it out like with your fingers and start rolling it. Maybe it's better because it's bigger, you can use like a pen, or here I have a brush. Just roll it out. So you still want to make it into a circular shape. let's see. Because the pond that we have is not that big, which, yeah, even the size is a bit too big, slightly too big. So I'm just gonna take out a bit of the clay, and it's kind of still too thick for me. So I'm just gonna take out some clay to make a smaller ball. So this one is like 0.8 centimeters, and flatten it out and then roll it. And you change position so that it's to create more of a circle shape. I guess this is a good size. So right now it's about, after it's flattened out, it's about 2 centimeters. So you can always adjust to the shape, the size that you want, but for this 2 centimeters is good. And yeah, just gently peel it off and use a pair of scissors to make a cut until it almost reaches the center, and cut a small piece out, like a tiny, really thin slice of pizza, like this, to make the shape of the leaf. And okay, yeah, so it's really important to keep your surface clean, because things will stick to the clay. So now I'm gonna do some, like, the veins of the leaf. So I'm using a toothpick, just randomly score some lines. So make it deep enough, but don't overdo it so that it breaks the leaf. Yeah, just randomly doing some lines to create the veins. So this is actually the bottom of the leaf, because if you look at some of the pictures of the water lily, the top of the leaf that's facing upwards is quite smooth, so the veins are on the back, on the bottom, that's kind of touching the water. So this is what, if we do it, we just score it and to make some lines. Let me see. And then turn it backward. So I forgot to use the plastic wrap, so now it's kind of sticking to my, because I put the oil on, it's now sticking to my finger. So just remember to use the plastic wrap, and my fingerprints are on the leaf now, which is okay. So yeah, if it didn't stick to my finger, the shape should maintain a bit better, so just be mindful of that. I'm just taking this off. So again, you can make, so when you're baking it, I like how the shape is right now, so it's not absolutely flat, because this part you can kind of adjust or alter the shape of the leaf so that part of it is kind of standing up like this. if you put it into the oven like this, it will maintain the shape. So it's up to you how you want to do it. And I realized kind of the veins didn't show up as much as I wanted because this one is basically the same. I did it before, so maybe I scored it the veins on the other side deeper, and you can vaguely see it on the back, which is nice. I like this one. So this one, because I think I added the oil as a bit softer, much softer. That's the difference. So this one I didn't add any oil, so that's something for you to like experiment with, play with, and see which one works better for you. So basically we're done with the shaping part. So what to do next is just put all these on I would do it on like a tin foil and then bake it. I think I forgot, let me see the description on the package. Says 130 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes per 6 millimeters, yeah, thickness. So yeah, 6 milliliters. This is a lot thinner. This is like not even, maybe it's 1 millimeters. So I think for us it's like 10 minutes would be okay. So it's 130 degrees Celsius. Yeah, so it's really kind of a low temperature. And of course you can, like, maybe after 5 to 10 minutes you can take it out and then like touch it to see if it's rubbery. So this is baked and it's kind of really hard. If I bend it, it's gonna break, and it feels rubbery, and so is this one. So you would know the difference. Yeah, so basically that's it for this tutorial. And next I'm gonna do the fish, so I hope you will watch that one as well. Thank you.